Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me here today for yet another Second Life lifestyle video and something that I find interesting or helpful in some type of way. And today we are going to be covering the closure of the Blueberry store. I just found out about this information about 24 hours ago, so I think it's fairly new info to many people. I know many people already know and have heard the announcement about the closure. And in some ways, it's surprising to me, and in some ways, it is not surprising at all. So I just kind of wanted to make a video to talk about it. And yeah, so that's what this video is going to be about. And so let's go ahead and get started about the closure of Blueberry Store. All right, you guys. So here we are in front of Blueberry. I thought this was an appropriate place to film this video and just kind of reminisce, talk about a couple things, and throw a couple of my thoughts in there on some things I've noticed since I've been in SL, specifically about Blueberry. And yeah, so let's go ahead and just talk about it. Right. So, first of all, I want to say that the owner, creator, has not specifically said why she's closing the store. So I want to put that out there. She hasn't released that information. Whether that information will get released at a later time or not, I don't know. But as far as right now, we don't know why the store is being closed. She just said she needs some time to reflect. And so, we just have to take that for what it is. Yeah. And now something I have heard, see, I have a lot of thoughts in my mind, so sorry if I stall a little bit. I'm filming this video very off the cuff. I just kind of wanted to get it out there while it was fresh and on my mind. Right. So apparently, from what I understand, about 24 hours ago or less, all of the mods for Blueberry got fired. That is the word on Facebook. And apparently, the couple people that are answering questions on the Blueberry chat forum, meaning the in-world chat group for Blueberry, people are asking if the in-world store is going to close and what's going to happen. And what customers are being told is that they don't know when the store is going to be closed, but that it will be closing. That's the information that's out there right now. Now, again, the story is very fresh and this information has just gotten kind of put out there. So it might change with time, as things do. So apparently, the in world store is going to be closing. And from what I understand from Facebook, the marketplace store will be closing. So, that's what it is, you guys. There's going to be no more Blueberry. So, even as far as this morning, I did go ahead and I made a trip to Blueberry and I got redeliveries of everything because I'm really bad about saving the original folders that my items come in because I always assume the store will always be there. But since I know for a fact that the store will be closing, because that's the official announcement, I went and I got redeliveries of everything, stuck it in a prim box, and it's in my inventory just in case I ever have a problem with anything. And yeah, so there's that. So let's go ahead and first, before I get too started in my thoughts on things, let me find this photo. Okay, you guys. So Hold on one second. Okay, you guys, yeah, I was going to show a photo, but then now I don't know if I have audio on that photo. So anyway, when Blueberry first got started, it seems like it was 2012 when they first opened Blueberry and Second Life. And they started making fairly quickly. They started generating about $1 million a year. Um, to date, as far as right now, most recently, well, the most recent article, which was a couple years ago, you guys, it wasn't 2024, it was a couple years ago. Blueberry was did an article and an interview for Observer. I'm going to leave that article with the link down below in the description box if you wish to look at it for reference. They did a interview with the creator owner of Blueberry, and back then, a couple years ago, Blueberry was generating about 20 million a year. Again, I do want to repeat this because sometimes I know people that are not familiar with the um, digital format or mesh clothing or popular stores or what have you. Let me say again, Blueberry was generating $20 million a year. Okay, so let's all let that sink in. That is an extremely staggering figure. Most of us will not see $20 million in a lifetime. I personally, with what I make a year, I would not see $20 million in multiple lifetimes. So that is a staggering amount to make in a year. Now, as far as Blueberry goes, the creation of the items. Now, it didn't get super into all the minute details of Blueberry in the article for Observer, but Blueberry did get to the point where after it was generating, I think about 1 million, a staff was hired. Okay, now it didn't get into what the staff does exactly or doesn't do, but any type of clothing brand or item brand, let's just say they make clothing, furniture, it doesn't really matter what they make. But if you're making a lot of items, like say, I don't know, again, I'm just like putting it out there. If you're making a lot of items, like say Mad Pea or any other large brand, which I can't think of right now, maybe Adams would be a good example for, to kind of put against Blueberry here. Anytime you're pumping out that many new products or that many new bodies and you're trying to keep up with the sales and the events and all of that stuff, you need it. Like Blueberry's huge, they have a lot of items and they have a lot of old items they've removed and put new items in. So anytime you're doing stuff like that at the magnitude of which Blueberry was, you need a staff. And I'm somewhat familiar with graphic design. I'm not so familiar with 3D design, but I do know that a lot of situations like this, that you will hire somebody to do the textures. You will hire somebody to do the mesh clothing itself or come up with the styles. Another separate person will rig for Cupra, say, and another person will rig for Reborn, and another person will rig for Legacy. So you have all these separate people who have all of their separate duties. And, you might have a separate person that takes care of getting Blueberry and all of the events on Second Life and keeping up with that. It takes a team of people to do things smoothly and with aggressiveness to get the items out there so that we could buy them. And we all know there's a lot of sales and events and stuff like that in Second Life. So Blueberry was all about keeping up with that. And that's what generates the money. It's not just one item that goes, crazy and everybody wants it. It's kind of like the more items you make that are new and you pump them out, the odds are that somebody is going to want that new item. And if they don't want that new item, maybe they'll want next week's item or the following week's. So Blueberry took the stance that they just kept pumping out new items as fast as possible, as much as possible. And that was kind of their game plan. Yeah. So that's kind of what I saw with Blueberry. Now, something that I do want to talk about here, just because I think it's interesting, is what went wrong with the business model of Blueberry. Like, what happened? Well, from what I could see, and again, I don't have any inside information, or I don't know anybody that's been working there that has been talking to me. This is strictly from my own observations in Second Life and from watching kind of Blueberry kind of be more at the top. And then I saw it kind of like falling off a little bit. Um, the reason why brands fall off is kind of like it's kind of like finding a needle in a haystack. You don't really know. Things just happen, things change, and things change very quickly. It's hard to keep up with. So anyway, um, what what went wrong with the business model? Well, like I already said, I think that Blueberry itself was pumping out items too fast, keeping up with the monster that is a um, a mix of the sales events and the gifts and the weekend sales and just everything combined. It's hard to keep up with. So they were pumping out things very fast, and many things happen when you're pumping out items super duper fast. And that is that a lot of times the quality lacks, which I can't really say is something that happened with Blueberry. Now, I did get a couple items a couple times, specifically for the reborn body, where I could tell the item didn't fit right. It just wasn't exactly right. Like it needed a little bit more rigging. And, I've seen this happen with other larger brands too, though, you guys, is that, they're trying to get the item out and they want to sell it and they want to make money on it. But then you try it on and you're like, man, it's not rigged right. You're like, I'm big on rigging. If it's not rigged right, I really don't want to wear it. So anyway, there's that. Something else I noticed is that prices were really kind of all over the place. Now, when I first started SL, most of the prices, and people that have been around SL a minute will remember this. I started SL about 5 years ago now. And when I first started SL, every single item in Blueberry was around 250 linden. I'm sure we all remember that kind of staple price because most items in SL and events or anything new, most of the time the items were 250. Or now items, the prices are all over the place and they're a lot higher than 250 many times. But I'm talking about 5 years ago, you guys. So the items started off at 250. They did not have any special fat packs like the fat packs they started making that were, remember, 250 linden. They still have those now where you could get a fat pack of a small fat pack. I'm calling it a fat pack. Don't they call them packages or something? But regardless, you could get a package of like, 6 to 12 different colors of shorts or tops or whatever. They have the packages there in the back usually, and they're all 250, and it's a good price, and it comes with a decent HUD. Yeah, so they started making those. After a while, they did not have those when I first started SL because I remember they didn't have them, but they have them now, and they started rigging for many bodies, which I'll touch on in 1 second. Um, Something else I noticed: the business model. Blueberry used to take place in shop hop events. It was a big deal to see blueberry items in the shop hop event, and usually they would give, I think, in my experience, usually they would give some sort of store credit. Um, I don't think they usually gave a gift as much as they gave store credit. And then, of course, they had some items that were marked down at the shop hop event where you could get a nice little fat pack of whatever it was. And, people looked forward to that. But in the last couple events, especially the shop hop ones, I've noticed blueberry has been missing. And when you would ask the mods about it, they would usually say, oh, well, it was too close to Valentine's Day, or it was too close to this or that. But the main point is that they just Blueberry was not present at these events, and they definitely weren't giving the store credit, which is interesting. I don't know why they don't have to give the store credit, but again, you could tell the business model was kind of changing, and usually when changes like that take place, usually there's a reason, you guys, and usually it's not a positive reason. Okay. So that's just my opinion, but that's the way I look at it. And again, I do think blueberry was trying to take place in too many weekend sales, which again puts more pressure on individuals for creating stuff quickly. Many times quality is lacking. uh, and quality could be down to the rigging of the item. I'm really big on rigging. I know I've already said that, but that's just, it is what it is. Yeah. So and another thing that I have a personal kind of negative vibe about in SL, and that is that there are way too many bodies available. They keep This is what's happened, you guys. And for those, some people agree with me, some don't. But the thing is that I'm pretty familiar with this type of business and stuff and what they're doing. And the thing is that individuals or entities decide to create a body and release it in SL because there's money involved. There's a lot of money to be made if you make a body that sells. And so it's kind of like, I feel like, at least from my experience, is that when the Cupra body got made and released, people went so crazy over it because there was never a curvy body like that released in SL. Not to my knowledge. There were other bodies, but so many designers and creators got on board with the Cupra body to make clothing and stuff like that for it, that it was this big, massive release. And this Cupra brand had a lot of creators behind it to make clothing for this Cupra body. So other people saw that, and other people were like, hey, if I invest, now I heard on the street that it cost about 5,000 to invest in paying some individuals um, to create a body. And the thing is that you stand to make a lot more than $5,000 if your body sells. Now, we've seen a lot of bodies not sell, like the Beliza Gen X one. That one kind of fell through. And so did the Peach Body. That one was supposed to be a big seller and it was going to be released. And then I heard nothing. And I never see anything made for that body. So it's interesting. And then, of course, Cupra, the brand Cupra, uh, released that new body the name of which I cannot remember right now, you guys, but it was the body that's between the cups and the original Cupra. It's kind of more like a curvy body. It reminds me of Reborn, is what it reminds me of. Yeah. Um, but I think any creators that make clothing have a very difficult time keeping up with all of the wants and needs of individuals with all these different bodies. Um, I really think, we need to slow down on the body production. That's just my own personal thing, you guys. I know people. There's been many people that have told me they disagree with me on. So, all right. So, yeah, that's just kind of a couple of my thoughts on, the blueberry situation. I just kind of wanted to share what I was thinking. I do think it's sad on one hand that Blueberry is leaving because they do have well-rigged clothing when they take the time to do it right. And I would say like 98% of their clothing is rigged really well. Um, I'm wearing some blueberry pants right now. This is a reborn body. I think these pants look really, really rigged well on this body. They are known for their jeans. Yeah, so if you want any jeans, come down and get them while you can. Something I did notice, again, this is an opinion video and it's based on my opinion. So something I did notice, and I don't know if I could say this is a sign of the times or if this is something else that I don't know about and I'm not aware of. Um, Blueberry has announced that it's closing, so there is that, and that is a fact. However, something I did notice is that they have like a lot of these packages and stuff out, like the 250 linden packages that are, have about 6 to 12 pairs of jeans or 6 to 12 tops or whatever. They're the packages that have always been 250 linden. I've noticed that they haven't kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of odd to me, like just kind of as a thank you or something, not to discount those packages a little bit or give a little bit of a store credit or something. What I'm saying, you guys, is that this is all like kind of painting this picture of what's going on here. I don't think it's positive, and I don't know what the brand itself is dealing with. But there's a reason for this. There's a reason that all of the mods got let go in the last 24 hours without prior notice. There's a reason for all of this. And I know that, when you have a brand or a company, there's never a good time to let people go or to close a store or whatever, especially when you're the size of this brand. But it's something to be considered that I don't know exactly what's going on, but it seems to all be being done very quickly and swiftly. They're not giving a lot of reasons behind it. And, like I said, I don't know. I think if, it's hard for me to say. It's not my brand, but I kind of think that just as a thank you or whatever, that you might should give out a little bit of store credit or give, even if it's not 50%. If you're closing the store anyway, give a little bit of a discount, let people come in, grab some stuff or what have you. That's just my opinion. Again, I have to keep saying that because I know people are going to start coming for me in the comments, which is fine. It's fine, you guys. You can say whatever you want. This is a open-minded channel. If you don't agree with me, it's totally fine. But I just kind of wanted to give a perspective on what I'm seeing going on. without all of the crying. Like, I see a lot of people going, "Oh no, Blueberry, I can't believe it's gone." Blah blah blah. It's I'm interested in looking beyond that, like what's going on. Look at the business model, choices that were made, why the choices were made, stuff like that. That's actually what I'm interested in. Yeah, but yeah, I do feel like they do make good clothing. It appeals to a lot of people. The textures were nice. They always give a nice little head with them. So I'm sorry to see it go in that respect. So apparently, the owner creator said that she might come back at some point. Again, nothing definitive is being said about that. So, it's just kind of like we need to take it for what it is. And of course, there's many other creators that are coming out constantly in SL. I mean, it's like you could throw a Linden down the hall and hit about 10 creators in the process. So we don't have a shortage of creators, which is a great thing. I like that. All right. So, you guys, if you have anything to say, any comments, complaints, concerns, anything at all, you can leave in the comment section down below. And I will go ahead and see you next time. Take care. Bye.